my name's Rachel, and a fun fact about me was that when I was 10, I hiked the Grand Canyon rim to rim. Yes, at 10. I hiked from the south rim of the Grand Canyon all the way the 24-mile hike up to the North Canyon, and it took about 3 days. Even though that hike was something that was new to me at the time and it was cool, I enjoyed doing it, but little did I realize kind of the places that that little 3-day hike would take me throughout my life and the ways that ultimately would end up changing my life. So pretty much throughout my life, my dad and I would always do these summer trips together. He was a school teacher, so we always had the same summer breaks off, which is something that I'm so grateful for. And we'd always go on these big summer vacations together. Well, when I was about 10, going into 5th grade, my dad decided that instead of doing the little day hikes that we normally did, it was time to give a shot at something bigger, like the Grand Canyon. So it was a 3-day long hike, and overall, I surprisingly did really well. But I think something that that small hike taught me was you can achieve a big goal, it seems unrealistic, by just breaking everything up into little tiny steps. So after that hike, I pretty much spent the following summers after that doing various sorts of backpacking trips with my dad. I ended up doing some more bigger day hikes in middle school, and then in high school I actually ended up hiking the Grand Canyon again, rim to rim to rim, which basically means I hiked from the north rim all the way to the south rim and back. Basically this was a little harder. This was a week-long trip. But again, it kind of got me to that goal. Break any big goal up into a bunch of small steps, and you can achieve your goals that way by just taking it one step at a time. Only a week after I finished hiking the Grand Canyon, my dad and I decided to take a shot at Grand Teton, and that was not the best idea. My dad and I were still really fatigued from the hike, and we hadn't adequately trained for this goal, and we were both exhausted from the hike at the Grand Canyon, so we did not make it to the top of Grand Teton the first time we went. In 2018, so I was probably a sophomore in high school at the time, about to be a junior. This time we decided to take this trek a bit more seriously, and my dad and I trained for it as we had failed it the first time and we weren't going to fail it again. I actually climbed to the top of Grand Teton, which was an amazing experience. It was a 2-day hike, but it was completely uphill in an area that was where the atmosphere was very thin, and as my dad and I weren't used to that, as we're from Tampa and it's hard for us to train in those conditions, just have to keep going in the pursuit of those goals. Throughout these years, I think I've just grown a whole lot more confident in myself. And summer 2021, before my sophomore year of college, we decided to hike the Zion Narrows, and we decided to try Catalina Island. Catalina Island is a 3-day long strenuous hike at an island that is about 30 miles off the coast of Los Angeles. Basically, Catalina Island is this beautiful mountain desert hiking area, except that it's completely out in the open and it is very hot and very tiring to hike. Ultimately, my dad and I took our time as we went through this, and it was a strenuous goal, and there were times where I thought I was going to give up. I had a slight ankle injury from a previous hike, which made this endeavor even harder. But at the end of the day, I just had to put one foot in front of the other and tell myself that I have the confidence to get through that hike. And I did. I made it. Okay, so it's really cool that I hiked the Grand Canyon twice, hiked up Grand Teton, and I've done a bunch of other very long hikes along the way. But I think the main point of this, and the reason why these hikes have helped me grow as a person, is because they just help you find that confidence to really say that you can do anything you put your mind to. You know, if 10-year-old me can go and hike a Grand Canyon in the span of 3 days, who says I can't go through that and achieve the career I want?